Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, OG.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. It was excellent.
Morning, OG. I was trying to shush you there.
Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day to you too.
What were you trying to do?
I was trying to shush you.
Yeah, you look
because we're
solid.
coming in.
Yeah.
You look great too.
Thank you. I love your red lipstick.
Mercy.
Rufai, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Oji. Looking wonderful, looking sparkling. Happy International Women's Day. Challenge
you.
everything.
Thank you, Rufai.
Shatter the ceiling.
Yes, we will. All right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the highlights of what's trending across the globe.
As the world marks International Women's Day today, women across the globe are being celebrated. And in Nigeria, the presidency has showcased 50 women appointed into official positions by President Muhammadu Buhari. And despite COVID concerns, thousands of people gathered at a stadium in April to celebrate Mass with Pope Francis as he wraps his historic visit in Iraq. And in sports, Giannis Antetokounmpo was named Kobe Bryant MVP following Team LeBron's win over Team Durant at the NBA All-Star Game, making him the first European player to be named All-Star Game MVP and the first player since Kobe Bryant to win the award as reigning league MVP.
MVP award tonight goes to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
What's it like when every shot's just going in like the way it was tonight?
No, it's fun, it's fun. I was happy, my teammates had fun, and just being around great players is just easy to play with.
You also had some amazing moments with your son on the sideline. What will you remember most about this All-Star experience?
Definitely my son. This is the first time he's coming to watch me play in the All-Star game, and this is for him, and it's just fun to have family around.
And finally, the most anticipated interview is out. Meghan and Harry reveal shocking details in their interview with Oprah Winfrey. Meghan said she had suicidal thoughts being part of the royal family.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought.
Tundu, this was an explosive interview. I mean,
really
it was
was.
really shocking details that were revealed at the interview. I saw some excerpts last night. And, you cannot help but feel sorry for Meghan. I mean, having suicidal thoughts is a big issue. Tundu.
My jaw dropped at that point. We discussed this last week, and I was talking about the potential for embarrassment, but this is beyond embarrassment. I thought they were going to talk about petty things, like in that book that they cooperated with, allegedly, talking about how Kate Middleton went shopping and didn't invite Meghan. I thought it was going to be silly things like that, but this was something else. The allegations are extremely serious. How she was almost driven to suicide during her pregnancy.
That was
and
serious.
the fact that Archie, before he was even born, there were questions about how dark he would be.
Yes.
I was about to just fly to England and fight for Archie. I was offended by that. And I think that this whole don't explain, don't complain motto of the House of Windsor, they have to sort of change that now. This has to be addressed. And I always generally resent it when people give me half gist. If you're going to make that kind of an incendiary claim, you have to say who said it. Because right now, I'm giving the entire royal family the side eye. Because they didn't say who said it. So I'm like, was it Prince Philip? Was it Prince Charles? I mean, it was awful.
Hold your thought. Well, like I said, the interview was quite explosive. So many revelations. Harry talked about how Prince Charles stopped talking to him or stopped taking his calls and how he needed space from his brother. And Meghan also debunked claims that she made Kate Middleton cry. Instead, it was Kate who made her cry. She also revealed how the royals constantly talked about baby Archie's skin color. Let's take a look.
they didn't want him to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol, and that he wasn't going to receive security.
What?
So we had in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What? And you're not going to tell me who had the conversation?
I think that would be very damaging to them.
Your family cut you off?
Yeah, in the first quarter of 2020. But I've got what my mum left me. And without that, we would not have been able to do this.
Was the move about getting away from the UK press, because the press is, is everywhere, or was the move because you weren't getting enough support from the firm?
It was both.
Both.
I was trapped, but I didn't know I was trapped. But the moment that I met Meg, and then our worlds sort of collided in the most amazing of ways, my father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that.
Dr. Abati talking about.
Well, first, the anxiety was that this interview with Oprah Winfrey will not live up to the billing, because it was prefaced by that open boss, tour interview with James Corden. But that has not happened. It has lived up to the expectation, and it has met its billing. But the question to ask is, what will come after? Because this, in fact, this interview, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle with Oprah Winfrey, caused some kind of riot, intercontinental riot, with American celebrities, American figures, including Serena Williams, empathizing with Meghan Markle, naturally, because of the political orientation in the United States. And you had people in the United Kingdom fighting back. It almost became a fight between nations in terms of the responses, with the British defending their monarchy and with the Americans empathizing with Meghan Markle. Now, what will come after? The question has been raised by some commentators that it will look like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle may have burnt bridges with the monarchy, and that this could do a lot of damage to them in terms of their standing in the United Kingdom. Well, would that happen? And this interview has been compared to the 1995 Panorama interview by Princess Diana, in which she talked about she would rather prefer to be a queen of the people's hearts. But what you are dealing with here is an institution, and you have two persons, key persons within the family. One, a biological member, the other, a member by marriage, who seem to be throwing stones, at the firm, as Meghan Markle said, from outside. So the issue is, what is the implication? And of course, people like Piers Morgan, the ITV breakfast television anchor that we once talked about in relation to Meghan Markle here, will clearly claim that, he has been vindicated, how Meghan Markle has turned out to be a very disruptive force within the British royal family. However, in terms of the issues, all of us can identify with some of the issues. The issues relating to Princess Diana, who was a major refrain in the course of the conversation. So you see that Prince Harry, although he's not a father, he's a husband, but he's still mommy's boy. It's still about Princess Diana. Okay, now about Master Archie. Master Archie's point brought up the issue about race. Okay, was the monarchy, were they pretending that, they can run a diverse family? The wedding, we were told that, in fact, the wedding was actually 3 days before.
Yes.
Not the actual one that we saw on television. And then, of course, Prince Charles refusing to take his son's calls. But now he takes his calls. That has been settled. So, again, there you see family, father-son relationship, and all of that. These are things that we all deal with in our private lives. But at the end of the day, well, these guys, they're human at the end of the day.
Yes.
And every human being will face their own crisis, their own challenges. This is Harry and his wife playing out their own life's struggle. But would Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, would they return to the fold? Particularly now that Meghan Markle is being investigated by the family for bullying staff.
All right, Rufai, your comment on the story.
My comment on the story is not today. It's not today now. We know this royal family, and it's quite shocking. This is happening to the institution. Give them the respect they due, but it's not today they've been doing this. We remember how it started with Wallis Simpsons. Wallis Simpsons was the woman that married Edward, the American divorcee that made Edward abdicate his throne. We know the treatment he got. We know the treatment Diana got. This conversation is not today. There were talks in the royal courtyard then that they were not looking forward to having a Muslim, relative, because Diana was dating Dodi that time, Suleiman Al Fayed's son, the owner of Harrods then, and the guy that owned Fulham Football Club. We know how that happened. Then we are seeing this. So I'm not surprised that they're going to make, comments like this about a child that has not been born, how black he's going to be. We know the number one reason behind this, why the British press and people like Big Mouth Piers Morgan couldn't stand them, Meghan, is because she's black. And it doesn't fit into their institution. Black people, they don't think highly of us. I mean, how can slaves from the Bronx come and, sit with the Queen, dirty black people? We know that this is the narrative, so I'm not surprised with what I saw. But you see, there's also a saying that there is still time to redeem your image. And I think the royal family has the time to redeem their image now. I don't know who is going to help them. When Diana died, Tony Blair used his goodwill to help them as regards that time, because a lot of aunts too were pointing at how the royal family treated Diana. And Tony Blair stepped in and helped calm things down. So I don't know who will speak for them this time, but these are the things we know. But one thing I will say is this: black or white, we are all one in the sight of God.
Right.
We shouldn't judge people based on their race or where they come from. In fact, we should strive to understand them. All of this, and you can argue with me to the high heavens if you want,
all right,
is just because Meghan has a black blood in her.
Right. We're going to go on a short break now, and when we come back, what's trending on the morning show will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the morning show. Let's take another story. As Nigerians commend President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo for taking their first jab of the AstraZeneca Covid19 vaccine over the weekend, reactions trailed the Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello's rejection of the vaccine. The governor, who has repeatedly denied the existence of the virus in his state, said he will not inoculate citizens of his state because COVID-19 is not their business. During a live interview, the governor added that his state is tackling more pertinent health issues like yellow fever and Lassa fever. He insisted that he will not take the vaccine because he is healthy. I cannot believe this governor. I'm going to continue to shame him. This is embarrassing at this point. I can't even speak.
He should be sanctioned.
Yes.
He should actually be sanctioned. It's beyond censure. I mean, if you look at the back page of today's this article written by Eniola Bello here, Yahaya Bello, the ugly face of APC, he's getting this censure from left, right, and center. But the Governors Forum, the presidency should actually do more than this sort of verbal slap on the wrist or written slap on the wrist. This is completely unacceptable. It's disgraceful what he has said.
Yes.
I mean, elections matter, folks. That's if we can call what happened in Kogi State an election. People like this and Jair Bolsonaro are going to have blood on their hands. They're going to get their people killed because of this deliberate, willful ignorance. It's completely shocking.
Dr. Abati.
Well, yes, Tonto, it's good you reference Eniola Bello's article. It's titled Yahaya Bello, the ugly face of APC, back page of This Day Today. And, NAB, as we call him, was more or less, articulating the same concerns that we also have One, about the presidential ambition of Governor Yahaya Bello. I already addressed that previously when you brought that topic. And also his attitude with regard to COVID-19, which has become legendary. But however, over the weekend, I think he modified his position slightly. He first said in Kogi State they have other challenges, yellow fever, Lassa fever, that he has been dealing with, and also ensuring unity and providing infrastructure for the people of Kogi State. And I think I also saw an article by his Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Fanwo, in which he was responding to points that I had made previously on this program. Yes, he's entitled to his right of reply. And he used the opportunity to list achievements by Governor Yahaya Bello. But Eniola Bello should know, because he's a stakeholder, he's from that state, and I would rather go with his appraisal, his assessment of the governor this morning. However, why I said that the governor has revised his position slightly is that he's saying that when the COVID-19 vaccines are given to Kogi State, that he will make sure that those vaccines are given to people who need them, who want the vaccines. Yes, he says so. In other words, he's not saying that even if the vaccine is allocated to Kogi State, it will stop people from taking it.
Oh, good.
So that sounds like some kind of self-redemption, because if he will not take it, he should at least not stop other people from taking the vaccines. But he says he is hale and hearty, he's well, and that he doesn't need the vaccine. But he should also be reminded that, look, he should not constitute himself into a threat to other people, and that, he also has the responsibility to keep himself safe. He should not just say, oh, he doesn't like the vaccine on the basis of some unfounded, speculative, knowledge that he seems to have ascribed, to have subscribed to. Okay? So, because let him be reminded that suicide, you are not allowed to attempt suicide.
But I don't even
under Nigerian
understand
laws.
what he means by he will give the vaccine to those who need it. I mean, what does that mean? Everyone is supposed to be vaccinated. Dr. Abati had the point.
No,
I mean,
no,
when you say that, it's like
he will ensure that people are vaccinated. He's saying, more or less, that if vaccines are sent to Kogi State, he will not waste them. But he himself will not take it. That's what he's saying. And if that amounts to an attempt at suicide, you should be reminded, nobody is allowed under the Nigerian law to attempt suicide. So the governor should take the vaccine and he should show example for the people, so that vaccine hesitancy will not be a problem in Kogi State. That's why he has to take it. But of course, I guess we can't force him. Can we?
No, there's no compulsion.
The White Lion, Mr. White Lion, Governor, please take the vaccine. No? But anyway, I'm not surprised about characters like this. They are characters. You remember a certain character named Donald J. Trump? How he kept on telling his people, don't take the vaccine. But what did he do? He went to take the vaccine in one corner in January. So he's a character. But you see, the sad thing about characters like this is that if they don't rein him in, he pushes that anti-vaxxer narrative that becomes very sad for people that want to take it. And I don't see how a man that doesn't believe in a vaccine in the state will ensure the effective, fair distribution of those vaccines in Kogi State. And this is where I would like to call the federal government. I don't know if the laws stipulate, I think we have a Quarantine Act. Can't we declare something like a state of emergency and handle the vaccination process in the state ahead of the governor doing this? Because obviously, what it means is that the vaccine will be wasted. It will not be deployed effectively to be able to help the people. So you see, what he has said, that he will not take it, but he will allow people to take it, is like talking with two sides of the mouth.
Thank you, Rufai.
I don't get what he's saying. He's not said anything. In fact, ambiguity is as good as the highest form of confusion. It's confusing people in the states. It's either you are taking it and leading by example, or you are not taking it. Only to think this is a man that his posters are out there for presidency.
Well, under the Quarantine Act, there is no provision that the federal government can take over public health immunization at the state level. There's no such provision under that law. The Quarantine Act has been domesticated by the various states, and there must be that kind of enabling law in Kogi State. But we can only just advise the governor of Kogi State to roll out the immunization program when it gets to Kogi State.
All right.
If he doesn't want to take it, he should not take it. It's up to him. But he must be reminded that you cannot attempt suicide. If you succeed, if you kill yourself, you are okay. But you are not allowed under Nigerian law to attempt suicide.
All right, not sure if we can discuss this final story, but I'd love to take it as a story from Zambia. A video of a Chinese man asking a Zambian man who appears to be working for him to be carried on a trolley has gone viral. In the video, the Chinese man, after locking up his shop, told the man to give him a ride. Let's take a look.
This is money, right? You can't walk. 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 So now why are you treating your workers like slaves? Why are you treating your workers like slaves? Huh? You can't walk. If you are tired to work out, you want to go home. Why? You are dancing. Yeah? Huh? You are dancing a lot. You don't do this.
I love what those men did to this Chinese man. But you know, we see this everywhere. It also happens in Nigeria. It's not the first time we're seeing this. It's quite embarrassing. I don't know what this is all about. But it's good that I show this so that all Nigerians should not accept this type of behavior.
Absolutely. We know what's all about. It's debt. When you owe people money, that's what they do to you. Zambia is highly indebted to the Chinese. So Nigeria should learn from it. When you owe people money, they become kings over you in your own land.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much
Dr.
for joining us. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning.